The day Earth became prison planet Zero was remembered across the galaxy as the triumph of order. Billions of spectators watched the Supreme Council's declaration as fleets from 12 alien empires surrounded the blue world with impossible technology. They did not invade because they feared human weapons. They invaded because they feared human potential. Ancient records buried beneath the oldest civilizations spoke of a race capable of adapting faster than evolution, building impossible machines from scraps, and turning hopeless defeats into legendary victories. The Council dismissed those stories as myths, until humanity reached the stars only 2 centuries after discovering fusion power. Rather than risk another unpredictable civilization, they acted first. Earth's skies turned silver as colossal orbital anchors locked into place. Every satellite was destroyed. Every spacecraft attempting to escape vanished in silent flashes of white light. Around the solar system they built the Eternity Cage, a network of gravity fortresses stretching beyond Pluto that bent space itself. Nothing entered. Nothing left. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth simply disappeared. Official history recorded that humanity had been peacefully isolated for the safety of all civilizations. Secret archives carried a different truth: the galaxy was terrified. 5,000 years passed. Alien empires rose and collapsed. Species evolved. Capitals moved from one end of the spiral arm to another. The prison became a legend. Young cadets laughed at stories about the dangerous humans trapped behind an ancient barrier no one even bothered to maintain anymore. Why would they? No civilization could survive 5 millennia without interstellar trade. Earth was assumed dead. But assumptions are the first step toward extinction. Beneath the Himalayas, hidden deeper than any alien scanner had ever imagined, lights flickered to life inside Vault Prime. Thousands of massive doors opened one after another with thunder that echoed through mountains. An artificial intelligence awakened from its centuries-long vigil. Protocol Genesis complete, it announced. Humanity survival rate, 99.3%. Planetary civilization status, stage 12. Fleet readiness, 100%. Across Earth, oceans shimmered as entire continents shifted. What aliens believed were ordinary mountain ranges unfolded into orbital elevators. Deserts split apart to reveal shipyards the size of nations. Cities descended underground while others rose into the sky on anti-gravity foundations. Humanity had never accepted imprisonment. While the galaxy forgot them, they transformed their prison into the greatest fortress and laboratory in existence. Every limitation became motivation. Every year of isolation became another year of preparation. Children learned physics before language. Engineers replaced politicians as heroes. Every citizen served in science, exploration, or defense. Wars vanished because survival demanded unity. Diseases disappeared. Aging slowed dramatically. Fusion became obsolete after vacuum energy reactors were mastered. Then came controlled singularities, dimensional engineering, and finally technologies so advanced that even the oldest alien civilizations would have mistaken them for magic. The Eternity Cage had become humanity's greatest gift. No spies. No invasions. No distractions. Just 5,000 uninterrupted years of progress. Deep within Earth's command center, Supreme Director Elena Navarro stood before a holographic projection of the solar system. Unlike every leader before her, she had been born knowing this day would come. The countdown had existed for generations. The alien gravity anchors that powered the prison were reaching the end of their operational lifespan. Their creators had long since died. Maintenance records intercepted centuries ago confirmed the exact moment the cage would weaken. Status, she asked calmly. Admiral Marcus Okoye smiled as billions of green indicators filled the display. The first stellar armada is standing by. 20 million warships combat ready. 30 million exploration vessels prepared for launch. Terraforming fleets deployed. Diplomatic corps assembled. Colonization initiative approved. Elena raised an eyebrow. And the defense network. Capable of defeating every known fleet in the galaxy simultaneously. Silence settled over the room. Nobody cheered. Nobody celebrated. Humanity had waited too long for arrogance. Instead, they respected the weight of history. 5,000 years earlier their ancestors had looked helplessly at alien warships filling Earth's sky. Today those descendants commanded power beyond imagination. At precisely midnight Universal Prison Time, alarms echoed through every alien monitoring station surrounding the solar system. Ancient sensors that had remained silent for millennia suddenly screamed to life. Energy readings exceeded every known scale. Gravity twisted. Space itself vibrated. One by one, the colossal prison anchors exploded, not from age, but because something inside the cage reached out and switched them off. The commanders of the Forgotten Watch station stared in disbelief as the darkness beyond Earth's orbit filled with impossible light. It wasn't one ship. It wasn't a fleet. It was an entire civilization stepping into the galaxy at once. Millions upon millions of black and gold vessels emerged in perfect formation, each larger than alien capital ships, each carrying technology no sensor could identify. At their center drifted a flagship the size of a moon, bearing a single emblem never before seen beyond the prison walls, a silver phoenix rising above a blue Earth. Then every communication channel in the galaxy activated simultaneously. The transmission appeared on every screen, every implant, every command bridge from the galactic core to the outer rim. A calm human voice spoke words that froze civilizations in place. This is the United Earth Directorate. 5,000 years ago you imprisoned our species because you feared what humanity might become. Today the prison is open. We come not for revenge, but to decide the future of the stars. The message echoed across more than 40 million inhabited worlds. Merchant captains halted their freighters in deep space. Military commanders forgot to issue orders. Even the ancient machine civilizations, whose processors had witnessed empires rise and vanish over tens of thousands of years, diverted every sensor toward the Sol system. For the first time in recorded galactic history, every major power shared the same emotion, fear. They had expected a dead world. Instead, they had awakened a civilization that had spent 5,000 uninterrupted years advancing beyond everyone else. The United Earth Directorate did not rush forward in conquest. Millions of human vessels spread outward in perfect geometric formations, establishing safe navigation corridors, deploying communication relays, and broadcasting maps that instantly corrected thousands of years of accumulated errors in galactic star charts. Alien observers struggled to understand why the first actions of this unimaginably powerful fleet involved rebuilding damaged trade routes and stabilizing collapsing wormholes instead of attacking. Admiral Marcus Okoye explained it during humanity's second transmission. Strength without purpose is destruction. Humanity has had 5,000 years to decide what kind of civilization we wished to become. We chose builders before conquerors. Not everyone believed those words. Inside the Supreme Council Citadel, panic had already replaced reason. Emergency sessions lasted without interruption. Ancient archives were opened, revealing classified records that only the highest-ranking officials had ever seen. The truth horrified even them. Humanity had never been imprisoned because they were dangerous at the time. They had been imprisoned because predictive supercomputers had calculated a 98% probability that humans would eventually surpass every known species. The prison had been intended to delay that future, not prevent it. Now the prediction had become reality. High Chancellor Vorkesh slammed his claws onto the council table. We strike now. Before they expand. Several admirals nodded, but others remained silent. One elderly historian slowly activated an ancient recording recovered from before Earth's imprisonment. It showed terrified council founders debating humanity's fate. One sentence echoed through the chamber: if they survive isolation, they will become unstoppable. The historian looked around the room. Our ancestors knew exactly what would happen. We ignored their warning. Far beyond the Council's borders, humanity encountered independent civilizations that had suffered for centuries under corrupt empires. Entire colonies paid crushing tribute merely to exist. Pirate armadas controlled critical hyperspace lanes. Refugee worlds drifted through space without allies. Rather than claiming these territories, human engineering fleets repaired orbital habitats, restored failing fusion suns, and distributed medical technologies capable of curing diseases that had plagued alien species for millennia. Millions who had grown up believing humans were monsters instead witnessed strangers rebuilding cities without demanding payment. Yet peace did not satisfy everyone. The Dominion of Ka, the galaxy's largest military empire, interpreted compassion as weakness. Emperor Draxel ordered the greatest armada ever assembled, nearly 900,000 warships, to intercept the advancing human exploration fleet near the shattered Aelios Rift. His generals celebrated before the battle even began. Their numbers dwarfed every recorded fleet in galactic history. On the bridge of the human flagship Resolute Dawn, no one appeared concerned. Enemy fleet entering weapons range, reported Commander Aisha Rahman. Open a channel, Elena Navarro ordered. The Emperor's towering image appeared above the bridge. Humans, he growled. You emerge from your cage demanding peace while invading our territory. Elena answered calmly. We have crossed no recognized sovereign border. You exist within my future empire. A faint smile crossed Elena's face. Then your maps require updating. Without another word, the Emperor ordered the attack. Space erupted into blinding light as hundreds of thousands of plasma lances, antimatter torpedoes, and gravity cannons fired simultaneously. Alien spectators watching through long-range observatories believed they were witnessing the annihilation of humanity's advance fleet. Then the impossible happened. Every projectile simply stopped. Not exploded. Not deflected. Stopped. Frozen motionless in space as though time itself had been paused. Confused silence swept across every battlefield communication channel. The human flagship emitted a single pulse of pale blue light. Every hostile weapon disassembled into harmless atoms. Every enemy targeting computer rebooted. Every reactor shut down. Every warship lost propulsion. 900,000 battleships floated helplessly in absolute silence. Human marines never boarded them. Human guns never fired. Instead, thousands of repair drones crossed the battlefield, restoring damaged life support systems that had failed during the Dominion's reckless power surge. A universal transmission followed. We disabled your weapons, Admiral Okoye announced. Not your people. Humanity did not spend 5,000 years preparing for genocide. We prepared to end the age in which civilizations believed war was the only path to security. Across the galaxy, military analysts replayed the battle trillions of times. The conclusion was always the same. If humanity had wanted the Dominion destroyed, the war would have ended before the first alien commander realized it had begun. For the first time in galactic history, absolute power had chosen absolute restraint. And that frightened the old empires far more than any superweapon ever could. Far beyond every known star chart, however, an ancient automated beacon, silent for over 100,000 years, detected humanity's emergence. Hidden outside the galactic rim, colossal machines larger than planets awakened one after another. Their creators had vanished long before the first modern civilization existed, but their final directive remained active. Threat level, humanity. Containment Protocol Omega initiated. As trillions of crimson lights ignited in the darkness between galaxies, humanity unknowingly attracted an enemy that had exterminated civilizations long before the first alien empire had ever looked toward Earth,